What is up, YouTube? Case Primer back at you with another video, and as you can tell, I am filming it out here in my living room, or my kitchen really, because I really need to have the space to film this, because I feel like it would be a little bit difficult to film this in my room, especially with a certain feature I have to show you guys. But anyway, today we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars Force Awakens Blade Builders Kylo Ren Lightsaber. Many of you guys know I picked this up last week on Force Friday, and it's exactly 1 week later since I've acquired this and featured it in a video. My apologies for taking this so long, but I really wanted to get a really good hands-on with it before I actually went on camera and demonstrated it for you guys. Now, there are actually several different versions of this that you could get. There's this version, which is your cheapest option. There is the electronic version that's also part of the Blade Builders line. There is the Disney Store version, which is kind of as close as you're going to get to an Ultimate Effects. And then there's also the Force Effects version that is for the really big collectors and if you have a lot of money to blow. This is not too bad of an option. I really do love the design of this lightsaber. It definitely, as you can tell by looking at it, when we first saw the prop at Star Wars Celebration this year, you can definitely tell this isn't a professionally built lightsaber hilt. Like, the wire going down it, the exposed circuitry, and you'll see with the blade in a second. What many people believe is that Kylo Ren just kind of scrapped this lightsaber together just with spare pieces he was able to find. And quite frankly, I believe that theory. The hilt is actually pretty nice. Of all the hilts, this one's actually the biggest of all of them. The one for the electronic one's actually a bit smaller. The only thing is I really don't know where the activation switch is on it. The electronic one depicts it as being here. The Force Effects version depicts it as being here. And I think the Disney version depicts it being somewhere around here, but oh well. I do have a few complaints about this thing, though. First of all, there's no belt clip. If any of you guys remember the old school lightsabers that came out during the, like, up until recently, like with Star Wars Rebels, there used to be a belt clip on it, so that way you could clip it onto your belt or your pants and carry it around with you whenever you want to have your lightsaber on you. My other complaint with this thing is the effort it takes to get the blades out. Now, going back again to the old school lightsabers, on the front there used to be a red button on the front of it that you would hold down, and then you would flick it to extend the blade, or you could just hold it upside down and hold that button down to release the blades. Ever since earlier this year, with the release of the Star Wars Rebels lightsabers, they decided to get rid of that feature completely and just enforce friction. Like, you really have to just flick your wrist to extend the blade. However, this one you're really got to put a lot more force into because the crossguard blades will not. The crossguard blades are spring-loaded, so they won't extend until this extends, and this requires a lot of force to get out, which I don't know why they do. I mean, I'll deal with that later. But yeah, they require a lot more force in this thing. Actually, I'll demonstrate that in a second. Let me just go ahead and stand up for you guys here. To extend the blade, there's really you can hold it either like this. I actually prefer to hold it down by the palm because you get a better grip. But take it with the crossguard kind of facing you, hold it in front of you, and boom! Here's your blades. And it's actually a pretty good size, too. I'm not the best lightsaber twirler, but I've seen worse. It's actually a pretty good size. The blade is actually a pretty fair length for a toy lightsaber. The crossguard ain't too bad either, but they could have been a bit longer. It's a fair size. And one of the things I do like about it, I'm not sure if it's actually going to come out on camera, but there's actually kind of a flame texture along the blade, kind of to simulate that crackling effect that his lightsaber has in the movie. However, here's my complaints. Because of so much force you have to put into extending the blades are a pain in the ass to retract. And also, I'm not sure if this is going to come out on camera. Actually, yeah, this one you can see, but there's white rings appearing on the blade at the seams where the blade extends, so keep in mind, I don't use this thing for, dueling or anything. I'm not actually, I'm not hitting against anything, because I'm not really sure how strong this blade would last, because it's been years since I've owned one of those types of lightsabers. So I'm not doing that. I'm actually just using this thing as a display piece until I can get a cheaper one, or a better quality. And plus, I may or may not be going as Kylo Ren this year for Halloween as part of a cosplay group. But we'll see. But as I said before, to retract the blade, see, as I was, you gotta put so much force into this thing. For some reason, you really have to get these blades to retract. They get kind of stiff. I don't know why that is, but that's it for the crossguard blades. They're just spring-loaded. So this thing is not without its flaws. I mean, it's what you pay for 13 bucks, but there it goes. But it's a lot better than, you know, having nothing at all. Now, really, if you want this thing, it's really up to you. If you're looking for something that's really high quality, I'd pass on this version, go with one of the more expensive ones. If you want one that just to carry around the hills and also to flick out and, you know, do for quick sparring or for a costume, then maybe this one's a good prop. That's probably what I'm going to use this for, because as I said before, I may or could be going as Kylo Ren for Halloween. But if you want something really high quality, I'd pass on this one. I wouldn't recommend the electronic version either, because the electronic version, the sound card I've noticed is extremely quiet on that version. So I would go either with the Disney Store version if you can find it, or try to hunt down the Force Effects version, because well, this thing's not bad, it's not the best. There's plenty of other better lightsabers. In fact, until I can get one of those two, this thing is just going to be mounted on my wall. As many of you guys saw in my post in Filmmaker Mike's video or Facebook group page. So yeah, I guess that's really about it. Later guys, I am out of here.